Hey there everyone, welcome back to another Game Vault video. As always, I'm Captain Beefy with the Game Vault, and we're going to talk about Silent Hill 2 once again. So let's cue up the music and we'll get right to it. Alright, well first off, we've already talked about DEI and how it's infected Silent Hill 2 and how they hired one of those stupid consultancy firms to come on in and help bring that game to a modern audience. I mean, that's whatever that means. And we know what that means. We know what that means. And it's one of the biggest sticking points for me in modern gaming is that we constantly have to do that. We constantly need to cater to the smallest demographic to please the loud voices of a few mentally ill people. I'm tired of it. I'm really, really tired of it. And because of that, I'm not going to be getting Silent Hill 2. I'm sorry. It's a game I really wanted to play. It's a game I love. I love Konami. They've put out some great stuff in the past and all that. And this game is just going to have to fall by the wayside, at least unless things change. But we're not here to talk about that as much as we're here to talk about something else today, and that is Premium Edition available for the game. So Silent Hill 2's remake, is available to pre-order now, and it's the only way you could pick up some add-ons. The game's soundtrack, cosmetics, and even a 48-hour early access period are all gated behind different releases of the game, with more rewards going to those who pre-order the digital-only deluxe edition. That's the big one there. This is frustrating players in two different camps. Those who want to pick up the version of Silent Hill 2 with all the goodies are frustrated that they can't pick it up in a physical form. On the other hand, others aren't happy to see content gated off in this way at all, especially considering that this is a remake of a game that launched long before these multiple releases became industry standard. Now, from what I've seen so far of this game, it looks like more of a standard remake than it does a total redo. Like, what was it? Dead Space came out last year, year before. I think it was last year, early 2023. Looked like a brand new game, completely redone. It wasn't that they put spit and polish on things and all that. They redid the game from the ground up. Resident Evil 4 felt the same way. Resident Evil 2 and 3. 3 kind of suffered there, but 2 and 4 are the best examples. These are games that really beefed it up and made these games great and all that. And Silent Hill 2, I'm hoping they do the same thing. Maybe not, but it just doesn't. I don't know, man. The look of it looks a little cheesy. I don't know if it's these early graphics and everything's not finished and polished yet. I mean, it's not released until October, so we've got a few more months. June, July, August, September. 4 or 5 months to get there. Maybe they're going to put some spit and polish on it and make it look really, really good. I'm hoping for that, but unless that's the case, I don't know, man. So there's two editions here. We're going to look at it on PlayStation Store first here. $69.99, $70, and $80 are the two costs for games. And, $70 for the remake it's a lot, but, recent years have shown us that's the norm. Resident Evil 4 was expensive. Dead Space was expensive. We're not getting remakes for $20. They're not like remasters or anything like that. This is whole new versions of the games. Sometimes with new gameplay added to it, sometimes with, the modernized systems, like the shooting in Resident Evil 4, for instance, was redone and how that worked, So if Silent Hill's given that same treatment, then yeah, they could probably justify that $70 price tag. And you got to remember, this game's old. How old is this guy? But we've got a whole generation of players out there who've never touched this game. I think it was a PlayStation 2 game. Never touched this game, or maybe they were little kids when it came out, and by the time they got into gaming, it was a generation or two ago, and they couldn't access the game to play it. I don't know. So yeah, it is going to be new to some people, and that's cool, if they want to play it. But so you got two editions, like I was saying. The standard edition that you can order, and I guess pre-ordering it, you get Silent Hill 2, Robbie the Rabbit Mask, and Mira the Dog Mask. Okay, so those are two cosmetics there. If you spend the extra $10, you also get a digital art book, a digital soundtrack, the Pyramid Head Mask, and 48-hour early access. Now, For $10, a digital art book and a digital soundtrack are kind of cool if you like those things. There are a lot of people who love that kind of stuff. They want to look at the artwork and how the concepts became, creatures inside the game, or the look of the characters, or the look of the town itself, whatever. And that's cool. If that's worth it to you, man, spend the $10. That's awesome. Me, I don't look through that stuff so much. So if I get a deluxe edition, I'm looking for other things. And in this case, I would get for $10 a Pyramid Head mask and 48-hour early access. Hardly worth $10. The mask is one skin, and the 48-hour early access is it's 2 days of early access to a single-player horror game, horror survival game. It's not like it's an online game where I could get a head start and be 2 days ahead of the competition or something like that. No, this is just me sitting in my studio in the dark with the headphones really loud, getting scared off my butt, So yeah, the $10 isn't worth it there. Looking here at, I guess this is on PC here, you've got 4 different versions. You got the standard edition, which is available as a physical, or you can download it. You got the standard edition, which is the game, and pre-ordered standard edition, which is the game, Mira the Dog Mask, and Robbie the Rabbit Mask, which is only PlayStation 5. So I didn't even know that was a PlayStation 5 exclusive off the bat, but it is. So yeah, the standard edition on PlayStation is only if you pre-order it. If we wait until it releases, we're not going to get those 2 masks. Interesting. The deluxe edition, you get a digital art book, a digital soundtrack, and a Pyramid Head mask. So that's if you download the digital edition after it releases. But if you pre-order it, you get all the stuff. You get the digital art book, the digital soundtrack, the Pyramid Head, Mira, Robbie the Rabbit, and 48 hours early access. And Robbie the Rabbit, once again, is only on PlayStation. So that's 4 different editions for a very simple survivor horror game. And that's kind of becoming a trend in this industry. And it's a little frustrating, I think. I can understand a collector's edition or something like that if they want to do it. Disturbing trend is the early access that they've been giving people. And what's even worse than that, though, is like what Ubisoft did with Star Wars Outlaws and Assassin's Creed Shadows, where they're locking content, like physical, like part of the game content, missions and so forth, behind a paywall, whether it be early access, deluxe edition, whatever the case may be. That is really bad, and that's something I hope that we see stop very, very quickly, because I don't like it. Yeah, if I'm going to get a game, I'm going to order it, and I'm going to probably pre-order it. I'll be honest with you. I know that's bad. That's a bad way to do things, but as someone who loves games, and I will plan days off around game releases and all that, I'll pre-order so it can download 2 days ahead of time, and then I can, at midnight on the night of the release, I can go play for a few hours. I can take the next day off of work and and be ready for it. Take a nap before the game releases and all that good stuff. I mean, it might sound silly, but you do that. Get a couple videos made, boom, put them out. We're good to go. So, yeah. Over on Reddit, the feedback's mostly negative, which is shocking, with players taking particular issue with the 48-hour early access period. This is gating behind pre-orders of the deluxe edition, with anyone with any other purchase having to wait until October 8th. However, over on Twitter, fans have highlighted that it's not possible to get all of the add-ons if you've purchased the game physically. It's possible the cosmetics will be available to buy separately at launch, but it will certainly lock you out of early access since you can only buy the standard edition boxed. So yeah, no pre-order in that one. And and it's kind of tough to give people early access. Well, I guess you could. I guess you could ship a disc and make it have to do some kind of check before it launches the game. Get online and go, hey, let me check the date and everything's cool. Okay, we can launch, whatever. Even more so with the early access to give you, 2 days of early access, whatever. But yeah, it's worth mentioning that Konami is far from the first company to do this, and we've seen it all the time. It's not even the first time we've seen this happen to a remake of a horror game from the noughties. Last year, Resident Evil 4 Remake also gated off cosmetics to a deluxe edition, with more going to those who pre-ordered the game. Unfortunately, it seemed like every major release now needs a graph to explain the content you'll get in a particular version of the game, even when these games are remakes of titles that released without these practices. Yeah, so you spent, $30 or whatever it was. What was it back in the PlayStation 2 days? to get the game originally, and now you're buying it again with extra cosmetics and all that. Yeah. This isn't the only Silent Hill 2 backlash we've seen in recent days. Ever since the latest trailer at PlayStation State of Play broadcast, fans have been complaining about the new character models. We'll have to see if the remake can win doubters back when it launches in October, but right now, it's looking like that could be an uphill battle. And I have a feeling it is going to be an uphill battle. It's going to be tough. You know, people are sick of the DEI in games. They're sick of all these consulting companies going in and changing things that don't need to be changed to appease a vocal minority of game fans that like to scream and screech when they feel like they're being underrepresented or some sort of nonsense like that. You know, hey, it is what it is, guys, you know. Well, tell me what you think down below. Do you like deluxe editions in video games? I mean, they're cool. Don't get me wrong, they can be cool and they can have some really nice stuff. But, you know, this one, for me, wouldn't really be worth it. You know, it's a single-player survivor horror game, 48 hours of early access. I could literally have the game done long before it downloads or is playable by most of the people that are going to own the game. You know, that's kind of weird. Yeah, and the Pyramid Head mask, which I'm sure it's cool, but you know, how weird it's going to be or immersion breaking to be wearing that while you play the game. I don't know, guys. But we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. We'll keep it short and sweet today. Hope you had a great weekend. I'm Captain Beefy with the Game Vault. If you haven't done so, please leave a like on the video down below. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe and ring that bell for notifications. I'll see you next time. Until then, peace.